As part of our strategy to move to Costa Rica, we planned our first due diligence trip for September of 2008. Our goal was to learn more about the country, potential areas to live or not live, its customs, way of life, healthcare, and probably 1,000 other things whose level of need did not yet surface. Instead of just flying in and spending a week meandering aimlessly around the country, we opted to take an organized tour. Our research pointed us to 3 basic tour models: the traditional real estate tour, a group tour aimed to educate people like us who were looking into potential places for retirement, and lastly, a private tour whose objectives were custom-tailored to our needs. I know this is probably going to piss off a few people, but we immediately decided against taking a traditional real estate tour. To us, there's something very wrong with having to pay someone good money just for the privilege of them being able to sell us a piece of their property. Hell, in fact, they should be paying us to take the tour. But be that as it may, Fran and I opted to take the highly customized private tour. As you've seen, our experience was pretty darn good, but one thing was missing in order to make the experience complete: interaction with other people whose needs and objectives were virtual mirrors of ours. Recently, I struck up an acquaintance with George Lundquist, an expat who specializes in providing retirement tours to groups or individuals. George tells it like it is, and occasionally with a bit of flair and drama, but the bottom line is there's no BS. Ask him a question, and if he knows the answer, you'll get it straight and unvarnished. On this, the first day of his latest tour, we met up with George and his group in San Ramon, where they were checking out a high-end residential community of Las Terrazas.
I talk for 4 days, okay? And it's 4 days of intense information. The tour is about whether you want to live here or not. If you decide, yes, I want to live in Costa Rica, because you're going to meet lots of people, as you're doing right now, who have made the decision, and they're living here. They've been here 1 month, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. And they're going to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. They're going to share what enthusiasm brought them here and what disappointments they've had. And that helps the people who come on my tour, because the problem they have is that they're full of fear and ignorance. Most USAians think Costa Rica is a third world country, and it may be even an island in the Caribbean. They have no clue about the culture here. This culture is over 100 years old, and it's stable, and it's friendly, and it's cheerful, and it doesn't give a damn about the war in Iraq. We don't have an army. We're too consumed with living today and the joy and eating the good vegetables and fruits, and the air is more oxygen than the United States. Everyone who comes here's health gets better, as yours has already, and you've lost weight, you feel better. You didn't do anything except move here, correct? That's part of the tour. You can't tell this on an internet site. You can't give people photos and get them to believe it. I differentiate, and I start the tour with, it is easy to fall in lust here. Don't fall into that trap. The tour is about staying objective, to measure objectively distances from services, distances from private hospitals, road qualities. Views are very important to me. Like the view here is right up there in the top of the category. San Ramon is a benchmark town for me because it's 30 minutes, 40 minutes into San Jose and 45 or an hour to the coast at 3,600 feet elevation. Part of what we learn on the tour is the relationship of temperature to elevation. The tour is about how you, first, whether you want to live here, and then, if you do, where. There's many options. None of my guests like exactly the same things I like. The tour is about, do you want to live here? And if your answer comes yes, where? We have microclimates. We're standing here in San Ramon right now, and 7 kilometers north of here, as you well know, because you're renting up there, it's colder, windier, and wetter than I like. Luckily, you're renting. And the good news and the advice that I give to everybody is rent before you buy your place to live, because there are surprises. No matter how many tours you take, how many books you read, there may be some showstopper that you won't discover until you actually live there for a month or 2 or 3.
While George doesn't sell real estate, an important segment of his tour involves exposing his guests to the different areas as well as different types of housing within the Central Valley, from the nice but basic inexpensive Tico-type homes to the very opulent and in some cases over-the-top gringo chalets, complete with drop-dead awesome views.
This house is awesome. They even have a hot tub out there. I think we should just write a check.
When the tour was over, the group boarded the bus for a short ride back over to the home of Dave and Arden Brink. Here, they had a chance to meet on a social level with a few alumni of George's previous tours. To me, this exchange of information is what makes this type of tour the most beneficial.